All right, good morning, everybody. Like I was just saying, happy Friday 13th, November. We are on workout 103 today. Monday, quick reflection, we had this single side stability pushing with combo with pulling. Again, I labeled it as a lowish rep day, even though the ladder or the pushing was high to low, but everything else is fairly low. The Wednesday was a balancing pulling with the opposite of pushing. We had Monday, we had some hips going on. We had a nice good thorough warm-up. We're going to do that similar warm-up today, and then Wednesday was the obliques and all the other things. So really haven't done a lot of legs, but I'm not going to kill you on the legs today, but I wanted to use your legs for movement and exertion, right? So it's going to feel legsy because of the movement and exertion, but the intent is not to beat you up. But we need to get warm, we need to get loose, we need to get funky, and let's go. So, again, I got a lot of good feedback about Monday's warm-ups. Let's give it a shot again. We're going to do our 3 squats with our mobility stuff and get warm and loose. Here we go. 10 regular squats, right? You got your hips, 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 hips. We got to get out of bed. It's Friday morning. Glutes, glutes, glutes. Turn those things on. Eyes, you're looking out in front of you. Thighs. Reminder, it's a leg exercise, not a back exercise. And I always say that, and you guys are probably like, duh, but a lot of people get a little backy when they do their squats. So that was a little exaggeration. 10 regular squats. You then have your 10 standing scissors. Breathe. Now the other day we did 3 rounds in a row of these. We're just going to go through them 3 times and you'll see. 10 regular squats, 10 standing scissors. We're going to get nice, warm, and loose for today. When you get done, shake it off. 10 wide squats. Your feet are just wider than what you had on your regular squats. Remember, regular squats is just a nice, good, basic starting position, so you can go wider and you can go narrower from that position. Hips are moving a ton. Glutes, always turning on. Posture, please look out in front of you. Don't look down, don't look up. And then legs, standing runners, elbows to knees. After those wide squats, you're in standing runners. Again, we'll do these again soon. Standing runners. Breathe. Get warm and loose. Again, similar to Monday's warm-up. Narrow squats. Feet are inside the width of your hips. Hips, 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 hips. Glutes, glutes, glutes. Eyes, eyes, eyes. Thighs, thighs, thighs. Again, today we're going to level of intensity, pace, fitness, whatever you want to call it. Turn up that dial a tiny bit. 10 narrow squats. You'll then have your 10 Jack LaLannes. And again, you'll do these again on our warm-up routine. On your Jack LaLannes. Remember, you got to get big. And then I do want you to think stretching. You've got your dynamic motion on your stretching and breathing and rotating. Again, I want that temperature rise. I want the heart to start beating more. I want those lungs to start pumping some O2 in and CO2 out. Stationary reverse lunges, 10 total stationary reverse lunges. Stay tall. That front leg is loaded. Stay on that front leg as the other leg moves behind you and you pull yourself up. 10 stationary reverse lunges, 10 standing scissors again. Breathe and focus. Breathe and focus. Now, you guys know me well, okay? My intent is to repeat some things here and there, but I have a hard time personality-wise repeating the same thing. So although this is similar to Monday's warm-up, it's a smidge different. Stationary forward lunge. Ask me why, I don't know. I just like to make those subtle changes. So you don't get too bored on a Friday morning, 103 workouts at home with me. Nice job. 10 stationary forward lunges. Step, load, and push. And then your standing runners, standing tall. You've got mobility, rotation, rhythm, right? We're adding some body, some soul. Again, a little heart rate, a little blood flow, a little temperature. Joints move, they get lubricated. Muscles stretch and contract, and they turn on. Blood starts flowing. Alternating, balancing, lengthening, stiff-legged deadlifts. Breathe and focus on your stiff-legged deadlifts. Now the combo will be Jack LaLanne's here in a second. Education, right? Stiff-legged deadlifts is not a stretching exercise, although it might feel like it. You're lengthening a contracted muscle. You're really focused. You're really engaged. Alternating stiff-legged deadlifts, I want you to put in the strength and movement category, balance, coordination. But when you do your Jack LaLanne's, it's not that you give up on it. However, I do want you to think more stretching. You add a little rhythm, and you add that rotation. So you could call it a superset of strengthening your hamstrings and your glutes and your lower back to stretching your hamstrings, your glutes, and your lower back. And again, they are similar, but I want you to think about your stiff-legged deadlifts could handle load, and you contract those muscles and lengthen those contracted muscles, whereas Jack LaLanne's is definitely more stretching component, and I don't want load. When you get done, you've got 20 high knees, running revolutions or walking reps. 20 high knees. Ready? Go. High knees running. Yeah, there's a little more impact. And yeah, it is faster. But remember, walking high knees actually has a little more exertion. So it's okay to try walking high knees sometimes. After your high knees for 20, you're on your standing scissors one last time. We are getting warm, we're getting loose, a little thorough with our body. Standing scissors one last time. Breathe and focus. When you get done, you're on butt kicks. Running revolutions or walking reps, butt kicks. And again, the running version creates some momentum, might have a little more impact. I'm not saying it's better for you because the walking reps requires thought and exertion. After your runners or butt kicks, you're on your standing runners for the last time. 10 standing runners. Breathe and focus. Yes, let's go. 10 standing runners. When you get done, one more thing is your 20 jumping jacks or your 20 walking jacks. Remember, jumping jacks is big, wide, little more impact, and walking jacks is still big, wide, a little less impact. 20 jumping jacks, and if you had your Jack LaLanne's, one more time for 10 Jack LaLanne's. One more time. 10 big, huge reps. Breathe and focus on those Jack LaLanne's. Woo. Again, a touch of pace, touch of focus, touch of work. When you get done, I need your space cleared. We're gonna do alternating biceps, not magical, more of a rhythm thing, and your quads. Now, we haven't done a lot of legs, so stationary forward lunges is a good quad exercise. Narrow squats is a good quad exercise. You could sit on something, ankle weights, or hold a dumbbell between your feet for your isometric quads. If you're at the gym, of course, you have the quad machine. Your quads are going to be the pyramid that you guys are familiar with. 10, 20, 30, 20, 10. However, we're going to start with our biceps. It is not magical by any means. It is always going to be 20 total alternating biceps, which is only 10 each side. Slow and steady on your 20 total alternating biceps. And of course, 5 times 20 is carry the 1 round up a little bit. 100 total reps, 20 total alternating biceps. We're gonna do it 5 times. Your quads, again, stationary forward lunges, narrow squats, or iso quads is that seated position. That is gonna be a pyramid of 10, 20, 30, 20, 10. So it's a little armsy to start and a little armsy to finish, and I hope it's a little bit of quads. I want load when you do your quads. I will show you the stationary forward lunges and narrow squats and the iso quads. 10 reps, round 1, either stationary forward lunges, 10 total steps, which is 5 each leg, or 10 narrow squats, or again, sit on something with preferably ankle weights and or a dumbbell between your feet, and you do iso quads. Again, we have done these before. I want you to go at your own pace, so don't wait for me. However, if you stick with my type of timing or pace per se, you should be just fine. I want a little pace. I want a little huffy puffy. Round 2, 20 total alternating biceps. It's gonna be tedious. I'm not too worried. We have a lot more to do today. 20 total alternating biceps times 5. It's always 10 each arm. So if you're bored on one set, you could do 10 right arm and 10 left arm, right, if you're really bored. But when you do your quads, I want you to slow it down. I want you to load it up, and I want you to get your quads. Round 2 is 20 total stationary forward lunges or narrow squats or iso quads. And then quick reminder, if you guys have a chance to go to Play It Again Sports in Woodinville, I was there yesterday. They have a slew of ankle weights, tons of kettlebells, tons of dumbbells. They're more on the light side of the dumbbells or the heavy side of the dumbbells, but I did see a couple pairs of 20s and 25s. I was able to replace the 65s that were dead here. I got our 80, 70-pound kettlebell. Anyhow, if you need some weights, they had jump ropes there. Like you guys, they had a ton of equipment. Play It Again Sports at Woodinville. I'm not here to promote them by any means. I'm here to promote what you guys are doing, but if you're gonna be at home, get a couple more tools. It's about $2 a pound with whatever you're looking for. Round 3, 20 total alternating biceps. Or again, if you really, really, really want to, you could do 10 each arm. I'm not too concerned with the biceps today. I know it's Friday, and Leon wants to get his pump on. 20 total biceps. It's more of a rhythm thing. I want you to focus on the quads, the load and the motion on the quads. Please focus on them. But the biceps is for rhythm, and don't get me wrong, we're doing biceps. Round 3 is your 20 total biceps again, and then you'll be on the peak of the pyramid on your quads, whether you're holding a dumbbell between your feet or having ankle weights on your iso quads, or you've got your narrow squats, you've got your stationary forward lunges. And I didn't say it earlier, but if you have a low box and heavy weights, that is also quad exercise. If you have a low box and not heavy weights, then you're just stepping up on a box. And that's not the most muscle activating thing at this juncture. I want you to think about your quads more than anything else. And the quads are 10, 20, 30, 20, 10. Good motion. If you were doing iso quads like I was just showing, you could sit on a bench, you could sit on the ground, but either way you're in that V-up position, right, per se, but you're not doing V-ups. Your legs bend and straighten. The iso refers to isometric core, right? Isometric ab core position, a non-moving contraction, and then you have the quad extension exercise. So round 3 was 20 total biceps and 30 quads. Round 4, I'm not saying you should be there, but I want to be a little bit ahead of you, is 20 total alternating biceps, and you get to go down that pyramid. You all know why pyramids exist. Maintain motion and load to the best of your ability on your way up the pyramid, and can you increase your motion or your load on the way down the pyramid? And remember, load, you've got physical weight, and you can also do the time. If you slow the movement down, make sure you maintain the motion, you are increasing the load on the muscle. Round 4, 20 total alternating biceps. Remember, if you get bored, you can do 10 each side, and then you have your 20 total either stationary forward lunge, narrow squats, or iso quad position. Let's work today, guys. Let's work. Come on. Let's work. Hips, 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 hips. The only one where your hips are involved is the iso quads. I know you're in a V-up position and your hip muscles need to help out with that. But when I say hips, 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 I refer to your hips moving, being a part of the moving equation. Stationary forward lunges and narrow squats, just do that. Round 5, again, I want to be a little ahead of you. I want to push the pace envelope a little bit. It doesn't mean you stop doing what you're doing. Round 5 is your 20 total alternating biceps, and then you'll be on your 10 quads again for the last time. Now remember, I'm going for a little bit of legs today. I don't want to kill your knees. I don't want to kill your ankles. It's not the idea. But Monday's online workout had hips involved. Wednesday had a ton of obliques. Both had a fair amount of upper body. Today I want to get those quads. We'll get our glute hamstrings shortly. We'll get our calves later on. We've got biceps, abs, and triceps, and lots of work to do. Round 5, 20 total alternating biceps for the last time. 10 quads, and then you're immediately on the wall. What? I want you to do a wall sit immediately. I will start the timer soon, but if you are ahead of me, get your buttons on the wall and start doing a wall sit. We're all going to do a 3-minute wall sit, but if you are done and ready, get your buttons on the wall. You're welcome. And again, round 5, 20 total alternating biceps, 10 quads for the last time, and then you immediately get on the wall. I'm starting the time in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Now, we're doing a 3-minute wall sit. At any time, you can get off the wall and you can do your stationary lunges, stationary forward or stationary reverse. 10 total stationary lunges if you need to get off the wall and then get right back on the wall again. You're going to probably find this is abnormally harder than what it has been in the past. You just got done doing 90 quads. We just had a sense of pace during that, and then you immediately went on the wall in an isometric quad exercise, which is the second greatest force you put on the muscle. If you need to, you can get off the wall and do 10 either stationary reverse lunges or stationary forward lunges. I want your quads. We're also going into hamstrings and glutes next. So this is a great way to get those cooking too. La-di-da-di-da. Ooh, my quads are already burning. Yowzers. Yowzers. Good happy Friday, everybody. Nice little work day today. You are halfway done with this wall sit. You've got a minute and a half to go. Remember, you could pop off the wall and do 10 either stationary reverse lunges or stationary forward lunges, and then get back on the wall. Nice little burn, a little bit of focus. Let it go. Let it go. I don't know how many of you guys watch football. I had that game on last night, the Titans and the who played last night? Jets? Was it Jets? Anyhow. Oh, the Colts. Sorry, they're talking about Phillip Rivers and why he should get the mid-season MVP. If you don't know football, cool. But what was funny is that the guy's got like 9 kids. Unreal. Anyhow, he's like, why should he get the MVP? And it's because the other 2 quarterbacks are like 28, no kids, you know, all the things. And he's like, you don't know how hard it is for Eric for Leaf to drop, or what's his name, to drop back and have let it go in his head as he's throwing footballs. Anyhow, I botched the story, and relax, please. Totally botched the story, but it was really funny how all the reasons were. He's got 9 kids. He's out there throwing footballs for the last 20 years. Let it, Frozen 2 soundtrack in the back of his head. Anyhow, I'm botching the story. It was kind of funny. Okay, we are on to our hamstrings and glutes, and we're going to do our abs. Your alternating abs are going to be 20. Your choices are scissors, runners, windshield wipers, or Russian twists. And even though they're in the core category, I want you to think abs core. 20 is the number on your alternating abs, and then your pyramid will be your glutes and or hamstrings. You can do stationary reverse lunges. If you want to get off the ground, you can do wide squats. If you want to get off the ground, you can be on the ground and do hip bridges, which we always do. Or if you have something that can slide or roll, you can do hamstring curls. We haven't done it very much because it requires something that can slide or something that can roll. So, when you're ready, 20 total alternating abs. Scissors is legs straight, arms straight. Runners, elbows to knees. You've got windshield wipers, and you've got Russian twists. Your abs are always 20, and I should say abs core. Your abs core are always 20, and your pyramid is going to be your hamstrings and glutes. If you have the ability, something that slides or rolls, you would be in hip bridge position. Your butt is up, and you're going to slide or roll, and I'll demonstrate with my shoes here on the turf, because again, I have a stability ball, but not everybody has one. Some people are on carpet or something that doesn't slide very much, so you can always take your shoes off and have your socks in your carpet or your hardwood floor, but again, you're probably on a mat. 20 abs, and then it's either hamstrings, you would need something to slide, or you have your hip bridges, or you have stationary reverse lunges, or wide squats. 10, 20, 30, 20, 10 on your hamstring glutes. Remember hip bridges, you can have your feet higher, you can have your hips heavier, you can play with the width of your feet. Remember, I want you to go at your pace. That doesn't mean I'm going to give you the keys to go fast. Pace comes from minimizing rest. Your abs core is always 20. Scissors or runners or windshield wipers or Russian twists, always 20. And you're either wide squats or stationary reverse lunges or hip bridges or hamstring curls. They are the pyramid, 10, 20, 30, 20, 10. I know I'm giving you a lot. I know it makes sense because you've done it 103 times online with me, and all of you have had probably another 400 workouts before that. Now, I'm not selling myself very well on a newbie doing this. You guys know we can slow it down and educate a little bit. 20 is the number on your alternating abs core, which you have done before. Always 20. It's replacing the biceps. Hamstring glutes are your 10, 20, 30, 20, 10. So I'm on round 2, 20 abs, and then your 20 hamstrings or glutes. Hip bridges we do all the time. The hamstring curls, you're in the hip bridge position, but then you need your feet to either slide or roll on something for your hamstrings. I'm not gonna lie, it's not the most comfortable thing if your feet are on the ground and you have a towel. It is nice if you can have a stability ball where it's elevated. I'll show you that next round. You do have your wide squats and your stationary reverse lunges. Remember, we haven't done a lot of formal legs, but the benefit of this circuit is that you can stay on the ground the whole time if you want to. Round 2 was your 20 total alternating abs core and your 20 hamstring glutes. Round 3 is your 20 total alternating abs core. I hope I'm a little bit ahead of you. I don't want to be a lot of bit ahead of you. And you have the peak of the pyramid on your 30 hamstring glutes. Again, scissors, slow, is legs straight, arms straight. Runners, slow, elbows to knees. You can start from the down and have that concentric motion, or you can start from the up and focus on the eccentric motion. Both are good. Round 3, 20 total alternating abs core. I'm going to show you those hamstring curls, even though I've been talking about it. You're familiar with the stability ball hamstring curls. At the gym, you have the hamstring curl machine. You also have the GHD machine. But today in the workout, you have the stationary reverse lunges, the wide squats, the hamstring curls, the hip bridges. So if you have something that rolls or slides, now I have a big stability ball. You could use a medicine ball. Your surface area decreases quite a bit, so it does increase the core activation. But moral story is you gotta keep your butt up. So you bend and straighten at your knee. You hamstrings turn on when you don't go up and down with your butt, which is why if you're on the ground and you just slide your feet, don't get me wrong, you're gonna get hamstrings, but you get your hip flexors and your glutes and your lower back and blah, 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 blah. Round 3, 20 total alternating abs core with your 30 on your hamstrings and glutes. Remember, I want a little bit of pace. I started off the workout saying a little pace, a little intensity, a little bit of fitness. However, we're using our strength training components to add that pace. I want you to think about your quads and your hamstrings and glutes. We'll eventually have our calves. You did some biceps. We got some abs now. We got some triceps. Round 4, when you get there, I'm not saying you should be there, get your 20 total alternating abs core, and you're gonna go back down the pyramid on your hamstrings and glutes. Remember, getting on and off the ground for wide squats and stationary reverse lunges is part of that pace component. I don't want to steer you wrong. I want you to have the best exercises for you. And we also haven't done legs this week, excluding our warm-up stuff. 20 total abs, core, round 4, and then you're gonna go back down your pyramid on your hamstrings and glutes. Remember, pyramids exist. Come on, you guys know this, right? Don't fall asleep on me. Pyramids exist. Maintain load and motion on the way up your pyramid, and then you increase your load and or motion on the way down the pyramid. It's also a great way to lengthen a circuit to start with. You focus on a little abs, core to start and finish, and the middle rounds are your other muscles. Stationary reverse lunges, wide squats. They require a lot of hip motion, glute activation, and then the exercises are a little more hamstrings versus quads. Your hip bridges does require hip motion, a little more glute, a little more core, all good. Hamstring curls doesn't require the hip motion, but you're in the isometric position as you do your hamstrings. So round 4 was 20 total alternating abs, 20 hamstring glutes. Round 5 is your 20 total alternating abs for the last time. You're then gonna have your 10 hamstring glutes, and then you immediately go into your plank. We'll have a 3-minute plank challenge, just like we had the wall sit challenge. And of course, I have options of not doing the planks, right? So round 5, 20 total alternating abs, scissors, runners, swimmers, windshield wipers, sorry, no swimmers, and Russian twists. And remember, if you are a little bit ahead, cool. The second you get done with this circuit, after you do your 10 hamstring glutes, I want you to immediately get onto your plank. We have a 3-minute plank coming up. I'll start in about 30 seconds-ish, maybe 40. And then you're gonna have your combo if you need to. You would do 10 sit-ups or 10 reverse crunches or 10 V-ups. I will remind you, if you can't hold a plank, you're gonna do a harder ab. So reminder, last round was your 20 total alternating abs, 10 hamstring glutes, hip bridges, feet higher, hips heavier, feet wide, feet narrow. You have lots of little changes on your hip bridges, hamstring curls, your butt stays up, something that can slide or roll so you can bend and straighten your legs, stationary reverse lunges, wide squats. The second you are done with those 10 hamstring glutes, I want you on a 3-minute plank. If you can't hold a 3-minute plank, you're gonna do either 10 sit-ups and or reverse crunches and or V-ups, but I want you back on your plank. On the plank today, I don't want movements or deviations unless you really have to. I'm looking for that non-movement plank. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Again, today I want you to fight, struggle, work, engage, and focus on your 3-minute plank. If you can hold it, awesome, perfect. If you can't hold it, you can do either 10 sit-ups, get back on your plank, or 10 reverse crunches, get back on your plank, and 10 V-ups, get back on your plank. Nice, rainy, dark Friday morning in November. Oh, I love it. You got 5 weeks until the winter solstice. I actually love, honestly, it's the weirdest thing, the winter solstice, knowing that it's the darkest day of the year and it just starts getting brighter and brighter and brighter. Honestly, I'm not kidding you, I've always loved it. core. Take it out of your elbows, take it out of your shoulders, take it out of the other things and put it in the center of your body. You're halfway there, minute and a half to go. If you ever need to do 10 sit-ups or 10 reverse crunches or 10 V-ups, you can do it. And remember, sometimes these things, again, they feel abnormally hard because you just did 100 abs core on your scissors, runners, and windshield wipers and Russian twists. If you did a lot of hip bridges, right, you did a lot of glutes and core, and of course your core always turns on with anything whenever you hold weight, so just don't be surprised if you're like, man, this is a little harder. Anyhow, we have one more circuit to go with our triceps and our calves. Little different rhythm because alternating triceps or alternating calves don't really exist. I mean, you can, but "30 seconds. Tick, 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 tick. Breathe, 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 and focus. Friday. You've got that burning feeling. Now it's gone, gone. In 3, 2, 1, and relax. Woo, baby. Woo, baby. All right, we got one more circuit to go. And again, it's a smidge of a rhythm change because the alternating effect goes away. However, I get my longevity of the circuits. We've done these things before. 30 down by 5 on your triceps. We did that with our single-sided pushing and pulling on Monday, Wednesday. 30 down by 5. Dips, kickbacks, overheads, skull crushers. I want triceps. And then your calves are 5 up by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. We've done this before. Every round adds up to 35. Neither of them individually are 35, but it is 210 triceps and calves to finish off your day. Now, go at your own pace. That doesn't mean you go fast, but both of them are smaller movements compared to stiff-leggeds, which are bigger movements. Anyhow, 30 triceps, dips, kickbacks, overheads. Overhead triceps is probably the biggest motion of triceps. Dips and kickbacks are definitely little motion. Narrow push-ups is a little triceps, shoulders, and chest. So narrow push-ups is in the equation. Skull crushers, whether you have a dumbbell, barbell, kettlebell, TRX, skull crushers. Again, 30 down by 5 triceps. You're going at your pace, but I want my tempo of 2.5 to 3 second reps. 5 up by 5 on your calves. You could do the wall sit calves. You could do straight legged calves. You could go to the edge of your stairs or a curb. You could stand on 2x4 or the back of your bike. That'd be a recumbent bike or upright bike, not a regular bike. Anyhow, mix up the position on your calves, but worst case scenario, you're not standing on the edge of something. 30 triceps going down by 5. 5 calves going up by 5. A little rhythm change, a little number change. I want pace, I want burn, I want work. I do want a lot of things, and really I only get them at 6:50 in the morning, right? You guys finishing a killer workout. It's wonderful news. Round 1 in the books, 30 triceps, 5 calves. Round 2, 25 triceps, 10 calves. Remember, you can mix up your feet and your legs on calves. I know you did wall sits earlier, but on maybe the lower reps, Wall sit, seated calves works your soleus. It's the underneath calf muscle. Whereas the bubble, the one you can see and touch and admire or make fun of, I get made fun of a lot for my legs, even though they're very strong. That's your soleus, or sorry, your leg straight is your gastroc. So the good-looking calf is your gastrocnemius, the one you can't see. The one that might be a little more functional is your soleus. So a lot of times when you see on a soccer field or football field or basketball court, when somebody goes down to the calf, and more often than not is their soleus, the underneath calf. Round 2 was 25 triceps, 10 calves. Round 3, 20 triceps and 15 calves. Remember, these exercises, these muscles, this pace, it better burn. Triceps, pushing muscle, loves to burn. Calves, little pushing muscle, loves to burn. 210 reps of triceps and calves. So again, we formally haven't done a lot of dynamic legs this week. You may have squatted and lunged a little bit on your warm-ups, and in today's workout, in the grand scheme of things, we didn't do a lot of them. We did a little bit on Wednesday. Today is quad muscle focused, hamstring glute muscle focused, calf muscle focused, biceps, triceps, abs. Round 3, 20 triceps, 15 calves. Remember, if you can stand on the edge of something and get more motion, awesome. If you can have load, awesome. Round 4, I'm not saying you should be there, I just want to be a little bit ahead of you. Round 4, 15 triceps and 20 calves. Here comes that little flip-flop. Your triceps, you'll get a little bit more rest on, so maybe you can increase load or motion and or maintain it if they're burning so much. Remember your calves. You can have your feet a little wider, you can have your feet a little narrower, you could play with that stuff. You could be in your wall sit position and have your knees bent. Again, feet could be a little wide, a little bit narrow. I know it's not a lot of motion, trust me, well aware, but they better start burning right now. Round 4, 15 triceps, 20 calves. Focus, focus, you're almost done. Touch of pace today, a touch of intensity today, a little focus on what we're trying to do today. Pat yourself in the back, coming soon. Round 5, you're almost there. 10 triceps and 25 calves. I don't mind if you're a little ahead of me, however, it better be coming from not taking any breaks. It better not come from doing quick motion, but it might come from smaller motion, right? Triceps and calves don't require a lot of motion. Round 5, 10 triceps, 25 calves. Breathe in, focus. Nice good burn to finish off your Friday. Great weekend ahead of you. One more full week before we add some calories. Stay tuned. We'll probably do a Thanksgiving morning workout. So maybe in the next couple days, I think 9 a.m. would be great. But let me know if we need to do a touch earlier or a touch later. But I think a nice good Thanksgiving workout will be due. Probably either Friday again. I don't think we should do a 6 a.m. on the Friday after Thanksgiving. I know Sunshine wants to, but maybe a 8 or 9 or 10. Round 6, when you get to the last round, 5 triceps and 30 calves. You're done with the workout when that is done. It doesn't mean push the off button and run and go sit down and go to work. It means go make yourself a smoothie, drink some water. If you have time and energy, go sweat for 5 to 8 or 10 minutes. It's a great workout to finish off with a little bit of cardio. If you don't have any energy but you have time, stretch for a little bit. Not gonna kill you. If you have time and proximity, you can bring your trainer a coffee or a smoothie. Why is everybody shaking their heads? It's not very nice. So finish off this workout, pat yourself on the back, a little bit of biceps, a little bit more triceps, quads, hamstrings, glutes, calves, a little bit of abs, a little bit of core, 3-minute wall sit, 3-minute plank. You have the 180 movement warm up. Happy Friday.